Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Out of the Box Healing. This is Jessica, and I'm here with a good friend, Brad Noall. And I have known Brad for, gosh, I was thinking about the other day. I think I was pregnant with my sixth son, and he is like 5 years old. So I think it's could have been a good like 5 or 6 years. So I was taking his class and was able to get certified and just really, really loved the experience and really wanted to have you on my channel to just kind of share some of your perspectives in this type of industry. So
Well,
welcome to my channel. So thank you for
thanks,
being here.
Jessica. And by the way, I feel like I've known you for more than just 5 or 6 years. I think when we reconnected, I was like, haven't we known each other for like 10 or 20? It seems like it's been so long
Yeah,
when you went through our training, but it's amazing how time flies with stuff like that when you're really connected. And I actually think that I felt like we just know each other forever. So
yeah,
thanks for inviting me on. To me, it's
yeah.
an honor to be in your realm of people and to be put out there. I appreciate you reaching out to and asking. Anytime I get a chance to talk about the things we believe in, things we do, I love that opportunity. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, you bet. So I guess to get started off, if you could just kind of give people a rundown of like who you are and what you do exactly.
Yeah. So my name is Brad Noll, and we're in the Wellsville, Utah area, and I'm a foot zone therapist, and my wife is also a foot zone therapist, and her name is Sue. Well, everybody's heard of Sue. So but we've been zoning for about 23 years, and we've had a school of education in the foot zone world since 2001. So going on 21 years, 22 years or so. We've been teaching and educating people in the foot zone modality, and that has become my passion, our life goal, and I would say it's almost even our crusade. If that sounds a little too strong, but it's to getting this education in front of people. And I'll just say this, and you'll hear me say it probably many times, but I believe that every family needs a way to access their body, to take care of your friends, your family, and those that you care about in your times of need, stress, or duress. And that's kind of been our mantra, right? So whatever people do, we want to educate them in what we have, or maybe encourage them to go find another form of education so they can benefit themselves and their families. So that's kind of what we're founded off.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. What got you into this line of work?
All right. Now we said this was going to be like an hour and a half, right? And I'll try to dial it down. First
That's right.
off, my background would not lead someone to believe that I went into the natural, organic tree hugging healing modalities of because I did not have that background. Matter of fact, prior to foot zoning, we did not even understand what muscle testing was, nor did we learn even that at first. But my wife got into foot zoning, getting foot zoned because um, she was very postpartum after our fifth child. Not postpartum sad, but postpartum angry. And she'll tell you that. I mean, it's a funny story, but the truth is I'd walk in the house and my head would get swatted off just for no reason. So we found foot zoning, and instantly she felt a difference, like during that zone. And the beautiful thing was she left saying, I've got to learn this. And I was like, hang on, honey, you don't need to learn this. Let's get you better. And long story short, within 2 or 3 weeks, there just happened to have been a class starting, and she was blessed. There were so many blessings that fell right into place that allowed her to take that class. So many different coincidences, and she jumped in, and then she told me that she was going to teach me. And of course, she came home, and I said no, because I'm a man and guys don't rub feet. That's weird. And it was after I had had some emotional clearing and a lot of work done on me, and realizing that stepping out of my own ego and this might be somebody pushing me in the right direction. I took classes after her, and so we started full bore into foot zoning, and that was back in 99 and 2000. And we just devoured doing that. We was doing zoning parties here and a zoning party here. We'd go over here and zone 5, 10 people and go to this next house and zone them, and it became such a fun experience for us. And I think that first year it was kind of trivial, but we went back and kind of looked at our appointments and said, how many people have we done? And we kind of added it up. It was like we have touched over 6,000 feet, which
Wow.
is really 3,000 zones, which is really only 1,500 zones each, but still a lot of zones. And it was like, what a fun year. And it's just been an amazing journey since. And with that, we gained the experience, and we realized we couldn't get to enough people. And that's when you ask the right questions, you get the right answers, which is one of my big things. You have to ask better questions. And my question was, how can I get to more people? And just after that, we had the opportunity to start a school. And that became our passion of educating that. Now, still moving forward, I still zone. I just finished one this morning, had a couple clients this morning, and we both still zone actively, but I'm also involved in teaching, and we have about 36 instructors all over the Western United States. And in doing so, we share the love and we share that education with people.
That's really cool. I just really love like to hear too how much how much it's expanding for you guys, and just how much good you guys are doing. That's amazing. So for those that are like coming in and maybe they've never foot zoned before or had a foot zone, I get the question all the time, what the heck is a foot zone? Like, how could you explain that to someone?
Yeah, and honestly, if people don't think we are weird, we tell people you're weird. So let's be really, because I mean, some people have heard of rubbing feet, and other people have no idea about it. I mean, but basically, it's actually very scientific. We can chase it that way if people want to go that way, or just in a nutshell, you have meridians and energy pathways throughout your whole body, and they run to your extremities, your hands, your ears, your tongue, and even your feet. And so the signals in your feet have been mapped out to phenomenal details. And we just happen to have learned and know the map. And our job when we're on people's feet is to access those signals and to tell certain parts of the body to start working like you're supposed to work. Shoulders start moving, heads start braining, and stomach start digesting like you're supposed to. And it puts the body back into a state of relaxation. And that's the biggest key. We call it a parasympathetic state. And so the body can go into a state of healing. And in the process, we access the other parts of the body in the sense of the emotional part, the energetic part. And we put the whole body back into balance. And keeping it simple, really, Jessica, the best way is to say your body is a computer and your feet are a keyboard. And we're just running a few virusware, malware, spamware, scamwares, whatever things we do for computers, and we're resetting the body to work. And so, and if people don't believe that, I just say, give us your feet, you'll love it. So that's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I think it's something you have to experience for yourself to really see sometimes the benefits. I know when I first heard about it, I was a little skeptical. It's like, what is this? And I have a memory of like, I think you ended up giving me my first zone in one of the classes. And I had like so much emotional blockages, like, and so after you foot zoned me, I remember coming home and the next day, just like all this emotion came out because I had just been suppressing, and like I just was so disconnected from that part of myself. So it was really a helpful tool in just releasing some of those energies and emotions that I was really stuffing in.
Yeah. So, hey, let me ask you, and as you said that, I just remembered that. That's right. So you actually came to class without having a foot zone,
Mm-hmm.
which is people would think that's weird, but we see that all the time, because you probably were drawn to the class because something told you here you needed it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that right there is really, I think, the bigger part of what we do with foot zoning, with the school, with everything, is getting people to listen right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is probably one of the biggest things that if we ever can teach somebody one thing, is taking their decision making from here to here. And so how did you hear about it, Jessica? I mean, remind me your story.
Yeah, it was I can't remember her name exactly, but it was somebody that knew you, and she had mentioned it. And I've always been really sensitive to energy ever since I was a little girl. I just remember picking up energy and just really sensitive to other people's energy. And she just kind of recommended like this would be something really good for you to learn. And so I decided to take a chance on it, and went for it. But yeah.
Well, look at where you're at now. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean,
Yeah.
the life changing, the ups and downs, the ebb and flows of life that you've had. But
Yeah.
the thing that's, and I think it almost like puts you on a path of recognizing yourself and finding your true passion. And I'm going to agree with you when you say um, you're really sensitive to energy. You are, and I think that's one of your greatest gifts is the ability to kind of sense what's happening in the room and to
Mhm.
feel it. Your empathicness is truly one of your great gifts. That's for sure.
You're nice, thank you. I guess with any gift, right, it comes with its ups and downs, but
Yeah, they
um,
do.
so I'm learning over here, but so thank you. I appreciate that. So I guess one of the things that I've experienced as I've been doing this line of work is sometimes there can be a lot of like fear that can come up for individuals when they hear about different forms of healing. Why do
Mhm.
you think that is, and how do you think we combat that? Like,
Jess, I think that's a beautiful question, and I think that's almost one that I think you could probably do an entire episode on just that one question,
mhm,
because fear, especially what we're seeing in the past years, is really becomes the driving force for people. And the truth of the matter is, first off, everybody has agency. We can choose to go left or right, and we know the light and dark travel in the same path, good and bad. That's just a part of what the universe is. There's always the yin and yang, right? There's always the good and the bad, and we get to choose left or right. Now, fear will always, if we base our decisions off of fear, it seeks us to find false knowledge, and false knowledge creates a false belief, which creates more fear. If we take that fear, whatever it is, and act in, use the word faith or act in truth, it drives us to ask better questions, which creates knowledge in a better area and creates a stronger belief of the truth. Because the difference between my truth and the truth can be completely different. All dogs don't bite, right? But to me, the poodle that chased me down when I was like 8 years old, and the poodle was like 10 feet tall, and I was on my old Stingray bike. That was way back in the 70s, and it was huge. And then all dogs bit from that point forward in my mind, which wasn't true. And that became an emotional trauma in my life that I got to overcome very quickly in life. But a lot of times, I think what happens with, and I'm sorry, I'm probably digressing on the question, but is when we make decisions out of fear, it causes us to regress or to base off of the past. Past experience would tell me that this. The truth is, all dogs don't bite. That dog chased and bit me because it was its job. Is what dogs do. They are herding dogs, and it was sitting on its porch protecting its house. So it did what was natural for it. And so the truth is that did happen. It was traumatic, but by the way, I learned to love dogs. We love dogs right now, but that is it. The decisions that we make based off of our past experiences are usually based off of fear. Faith or truth experiences are based off of forward thinking, the potential of an outcome, versus what we say we always do it this way. And that's not necessarily the truth. That is our truth. I think I moved around in the question, but did that answer that question right?
yeah, I think so, and I think too what
Sorry.
I'm no, it's great, and I think too what I'm getting from you and what's coming to my mind is just like just how much we've evolved, as a civilization. And like I remember like 20 years ago going through a pretty traumatic experience, and like it took me a long time. It's taken me a long time to really find healing from some of the things that I've been through. And so I've had to like really open my mind to because like the conventional way of like healing just didn't come like for me.
Right, right.
And I'm open that it comes for other people, but that just wasn't my path. And so for me, that it really kind of, I kind of felt almost forced like to open my mind, like, okay, what else is there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I remembered your question. I apologize for not answering it directly. Was in regards to foot zoning and other modalities of healing, how does fear come into that? So simple response is the lack of knowledge, lack of true knowledge, or not being open-minded to just checking it out, usually is what steps people into fear.
Mhm.
And they base it off of what they think they know, not off of what is known. And so my suggestion when people step into not only allopathic medicine, which is modern medicine, to naturopathic, to allopathic, to all these different types of medicines, is be open to the possibilities and then make your decision. Get your information, then make your own decision based off of how you feel, not based off of what somebody else has told you. So if somebody says, "Oh, that's woo woo, that's weird, it doesn't work," I mean, I could argue with somebody all day, right? I know it works. I'm past the point of believing it. I really am. I don't have to prove to it anybody more. I know that I know that I know that it works. It just does. And I spent 2 or 3 years trying to figure out why it worked. And I realized I may not, but I do know it is, we're seeing results. And so I tell people, if they're not sure, think about it. Get your information, get both sides of the story. Don't talk to somebody who's guilt shaming and blaming a modality. Talk to somebody who's experienced it, then make your own decision.
Hmm. Yeah, I like that. Thanks for sharing. Um, so can you share or teach something with those listening that will assist them on their journey? Is
Oh
there
my
something
gosh.
that stands out to
Okay.
you?
So
I
we're
know
gonna
you
we're
have
gonna
so much, but
set a timer for me, Jess. All right, apologize, I get going. The one thing that kind of comes to my mind, I have a lot of things that really, I really feel like I can share, but there's the biggest thing, I think, Jess, is if people want better answers, they need to ask better questions. And so if you're not getting the right, or an answer, that you're not getting an answer to a situation or an answer to a problem, like, how can I fix this? Instead of saying, how can I fix this? Saying, what are the ways to fix this? Or what else is there a possibility for? So if you're not getting the answers you're looking for, ask different or better questions. They always say that the better the question, the better the response. And so to really dial into those questions, and then to step into trust. And really, some people might want to call it karma, some people might want to call it their dogma, their dharma, their what their path is, what their gifts are. Step into their path and let their path lead them, because truth is truth. It doesn't matter how you look at it. Energy is everywhere, and we get to choose the opportunity to partake in it or to deny it. It doesn't take anything away from anybody. My apple tree doesn't take anything from my neighbor's apple tree, and we both can bear fruit. And I might be a honey crisp, and theirs might be a golden yellow, whatever they are. So um, I think the message is, what I would say is, ask better questions.
yeah. Well, I love that too, because it makes me think like, all of our gifts are so unique and special and important to being here on this planet. And so, if you were unwilling to show forth your gift, like how how sad that would be. Like we would be missing out. And so anyways, I really appreciate you so much. Your course like blessed my life immensely and continues to this day, and my family's. Like the other day, my kids get a lot of asthma, and so being able to work on their feet has really been able to bless them at times when I'm able to be with
Yes.
them. So
And you know
anyway,
what? That actually makes me feel super good. You
yeah.
know, the only gratitude we get, I mean, the only blessings that we get for sharing and teaching this, that become long term, is knowing that it's affecting your life that way. I
Mhm.
was telling one of my clients this morning that just within our own family, we've had a lot of situations that have come up since the first of the year. Crazy things. And I bet we've had literally we used to say count on one hand. I can say count on 4 different hands when we've just pulled upon the zone to help, from anything from a young child having a concussion to somebody going through an anxiety attack, somebody possibly having heart issues. I mean, or even just not feeling good.
Mhm.
And the ability to take care of that within having that means really makes a big difference in our life. And I'm glad that it's making a difference in yours. And that's our passion. That really is our passion.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I've adopted that passion too since coming, and I've seen the benefits with my clients as well. And so thank you so much
Yeah.
for what you do. And if people that are listening, if they would like to get a hold of you and reach out to you, I'll definitely be sure to leave a link below to some of your information. But what could you share that
The
verbally?
Yeah, and the easiest way is to go check out our website. I can give you my Instagram handle. That'll probably confuse everybody. But my phone number is on our website. It's We Do Feet, one word, WEDOFEET.net. We're the net. We're not a com. So we do feet.net, and it will. And then that you'll see, my information's there. Our instructor's information's there, and really the information about foot zoning. And my suggestion to people is, if not this, then find something else. Find something that helps you or benefits you. And if you don't need to be trained, find a foot zoner that could work on you. And that being said, I'm just going to say there's something so miraculous about doing the foot zone in its entirety versus just touching a spot here on the foot. We've all looked at reflexology charts, but the benefit of the foot zone is to work on the entire body and to allow the body to decide what it needs to work on first. So there is a little bit of a difference in the modality. So it's, I would say, Jessica, I mean, you're an amazing zoner. They should just be reaching out to you, don't you think?
Well, I am getting some good clients that are coming in. I've been having a lot of fun. So
Yeah, and we have a list of people, and that if people want to know somebody in their area, I'm sure they can reach out to you or reach out to us. We can help somebody find somebody. So
yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, I appreciate so much your time and appreciate our listeners listening. And is there any final words you wanted to say, Brad, before?
no, other than thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you
welcome.
personally for reaching out to me and following that intuition. It's been a blessing to reconnect with you, and so you're very much a part of our family and our life, and it's been nice to just visit back with you. So, and I love that you're just chasing your own gifts. That
Yeah.
that that does my heart good.
Thanks so much, Brad. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I just want to send so much love to the listeners and on their healing path. So thank you, Brad. Okay.
Very much. Thank you.
Mhm.